agriculture is important economic sectors of Vietnam. Estimated for the year 2018, agricultural, forestry, and fisheries efforts exceeded the records of $40 billion. This is a record figures of agriculture sector in Vietnam, affirming its position as the powerhouse for agricultural efforts in the world. Seeing the potentials of agricultural development in Vietnam, Cuban companies have built and set up factories in many provinces long ago. Production of agriculture support products such as biological fertilizer, insect repellent, and etc. support the people in Vietnam to produce high quality and environmentally friendly products. Consulate generals of Cuba in Ho Chi Minh City, who plays the roles at the bridge for the inter-relationship and diplomatic cooperation between Vietnam and Cuba, is also very interested in this issue. Along with the thorough research on the agricultural markets of both countries, she has supported many Cuban investors in Vietnam, as well as connecting and developing agricultural support products, contributing to the development of both parties in recent years. Hi everybody, welcome to Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 NETVIET channel. And today we will have a conversation with Dr. Idris Lopez Alves, a Consulate General of Cuban in Ho Chi Minh City, about the Vietnamese agricultural sector. It's my pleasure to have you on the show.
Hello everybody, hello to you, and it's a pleasure for me you are inviting me to the program.
And my first question is, being a diplomat in Ho Chi Minh City, can you share with us about which areas Cuban business are interested in investing in Vietnam?
Well, Cuban had been in Vietnam for a long time. A lot of Cuban companies have been working since very initial of your revolution and our revolution. But there are two governments has identified that the health and biotechnology will be the priorities in our investment sector. Of course, we have been under the supervision area and in the agricultural markets for a long time with products and change, and in educations in particular fields like languages or training of a lot of graduates have been here in Cuba, and it's a pleasure for us to continue working with the Vietnamese people.
According to you, why are they concerned to Vietnamese agricultural sector?
Cuban is interested in agricultural sector in Vietnam because we have a lot of identity, common themes, and we have been working, for example, since a long time ago, we provide some seeds of coffee, for example, that we have it and you don't, and now they grow successfully in Vietnam, and you provide us rice and variety of rice that are now one of the main programs for the food in Cuba. And there are many other chains of fruits and natural resources like a sugar cane, sugar mill, that we have been working together for a long time, and it could be successful to continue in this sector.
In your opinions, what has been changed in the Vietnamese agricultural sector in Vietnam over the year?
Vietnamese agricultural sector has grown a lot, has been dynamic, has a lot of presence of a lot of product from different countries, which means that you are trading a lot and producing all around the year a lot of products, where this is also a good benefit for the people of Vietnam.
Can you share about the agricultural cooperation between Vietnam and Cuba? What have been changed in the development of agriculture on both sides?
Our two countries have to change seeds. It is a gain for everybody because now you have other products that you don't have. And of course, the formation, training of engineers for all those years, it is very beneficial for the Vietnamese and for Cuban also because later on we continue cooperating with them. And it is a blessing that we can share in agricultural products, techniques. Cuba have now reshaping the sector of preserving foods for a long time, which is quite successful in our agriculture, and converting to a small scale. This is a technique that we can exchange with Vietnam besides our biotechnological product for agriculture and also other natural products. We are supplements for food, health, hygiene, and the lifestyle of the population in general.
In the trend of cooperation and agricultural development, many Cuban businesses have invested heavily in Vietnam markets for many decades. They bring products to support crop development, increase productivity and efficiency for agriculture. One of them is Labio Palm Group, one of the Cuban enterprises which has been in Vietnam markets for more than 24 years with a considerable success. This unit has more than 50 years of experience leading in the research and production of naturally derived products, biological products, agricultural support. Labio Farm's products contribute to helping people in controlling harmful pests and insects, protecting goods, equipment, and facilities. With the environmentally friendly products such as BioRad, Resolab, Bactivac, and etc.
We have been here for 24 years and have connected with many Vietnamese companies. And our company has a lot of international products, especially in Vietnam. And we have a lot of high-quality biological products. So we are very interested in agriculture, especially insecticides, plants, and plant protection. We also have a factory in Cần Thơ, specializing in providing biological products for people in Western Vietnam. And according to the research, we know the Vietnamese market priorities the use of biological products more than the use of chemicals. And that fits perfectly with the development direction of our company. So we hope in the next 5 to 10 years, our products will be more widely available.
So what about the difference of agriculture between Vietnam and Cuba? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the Vietnamese agricultural sector?
Agriculture is still very dependent of the climate change, which have been able to control by the Vietnamese farmers. I mean, you've been able to fight and obtain very good results with the climate change, which is not our strongest in Cuba. So the good performance of Vietnam in the agricultural market facilitated the researchers also. And I think there are, of course, things that you can work hard and obtain also better results And we are able, or we are in the willing to change this technique, also using biofertilizer and organic stimulants for the production that we are now using with higher efficiency. We are ready to change and incorporate it also for the healthiest and natural supplements that in Cuba have been being in use for the population, and this reduce the amount of medicine, chemical medicines, and help the doctor to prevent disease. There is the honey, all the derivatives from mangoes. There are a lot of cream for the skin that can be produced for natural product, and it is so hot country, then these are beneficial for the population. Those come for agricultural market.
What are the most consumed products of Cuban in Vietnam, and how effective is its product?
Agricultural products in Cuba, the most famous is the sugar, but also the pest control. We have been here for eradicating the rats in a long time. Also, against mosquito, we have very well-known products, that is Griselet, Bactivet, but we have been also in Vietnam with Viratox, that is natural supplements, came from the poison of a scorpion. He helps to eradicate the pain and raise the quality of life of the people who have cancer.
What other agricultural support products will Cuban companies have in the future?
And in agricultural market, there is always the question how to preserve the fruit for a long time. And as I mentioned before, we are reshaping our big companies of can and preservation of citrus product and other fruit in order to have in a smaller scale. Those programs could be also changed with Vietnam, that it will be successful for fruits producer.
What is your expectation for cooperation of development in agriculture of Vietnam and Cuba in the future?
Well, my expectation is to increase the level of the Cuban presence. We have a Cuban factory for more than 20 years in Vietnam who produce products for pest control, like rats. But I think we have to diversify, as I mentioned. Other products come directly from Cuba, but we can be able to produce also here because you have a very young labor force and a growing market. So it could be an opportunity for any Vietnamese company invest here or in Cuba with the Cuba patent and with the Cuban products. Like as I mentioned, we have been able to connect the agriculture with the health. And this is an opportunity that we can raise in our cooperation, and it will be in a common interest because the Vietnamese who invest in the Cuban product for Vietnam, but also for Cuba. So this is something that we have in common, and we can exchange and raise the present, mutual presence and mutual benefit in this sector.
It's informative. Thank you for your sharing. And thank you for watching. See you next time.